This was me at 8 years old, rocking a Freddie Mercury t-shirt like I'd found a magic cloak. At that age, I had no idea what I was doing. Schools, games, chores, but I knew Freddie was something else. I remember feeling seen, like suddenly there was a hero that got me. But this picture is just the beginning. The real story started months earlier in South Wales on an RAF base, visiting my cousin Kevin. So, we're in the car heading south, me, my mum and dad. They're chatting about work or whatever the weather was, whatever grown-ups talk about. I was sitting there thinking, is that a runway? We reach RAF St Athan in Wales, and suddenly everything's different. Big grey hangars, jets taking off the runway, people in uniform. I'd never been around that world. It felt big and important. My cousins, Sarah, who was into horses, and Kevin, who had a motorbike, seemed like proper grown-ups. To me, Kevin was like a rock star. When he shouted, "Do you want to ride?" I nearly fainted. We rode around with wind in our faces. My mum was holding her stomach, she said, half worried. But Kevin looked back grinning. It was like the most exciting thing I'd ever done in my life. That memory still sticks with me. The freedom, loud engines and laughter. But it was only the warm-up, because the real magic happened in the bedroom. I walk into Kevin's bedroom for the first time, and immediately I'm stepping into another universe. Walls plastered with band posters, rugby trophies. But when I see a giant metal rack loaded with CDs, rows and rows, all alphabetically stored, clean, sharp, and there they were, Queen. I'd heard Bohemian Rhapsody before on the radio, sure. But this is everything, album after album, shining jewel cases, all looking like royalty. And on the wall, a huge poster of Freddie in that yellow jacket from Wembley. Grand, commanding, iconic. Kevin wasn't ignoring me. He hit play. The room filled with guitars, piano, those voices soaring. It was electric, and I think I was electrified too for the first time. We were staying at my aunt and uncle's for a week over the Easter holidays, and it rained all week. Me and Kevin would listen to music in his bedroom, and this is when I was first introduced to Queen. We listened to album after album, and I was absolutely fascinated. I'd never heard anything like it before. And when I heard Bohemian Rhapsody, I was shocked to find out that it's one song, as I heard for different parts before, but I assumed it was 3 separate songs. I found this amazing. We listened to so much music that week, and I could tell Kevin was getting a bit sick and tired of listening to Queen all the time, and wanted to put something else on. But he let me carry on with Queen, as you could tell I was loving it. A week later, we get back to Shrewsbury. I unpack my bag, half wanting to stay in Wales forever. At home, I dig through my tiny tape collection, mostly of chart pop and kids' movie songs. Then I find something unexpected. A cassette marked Queen, Live Magic. I put it on, and suddenly I'm back in that rack-studded room with Kevin and Freddie and the crowd screaming. But this time it's all mine. Cue my own session. I wore that tape out. I got into trouble for asking for music at family dinners. And John, my best mate, who always come to see me, might as well live downstairs. He never stood a chance. Queen was now in my bloodstream. I started to fill my own bedroom walls with Queen posters, and I think I was trying to make it look like Kevin's room. I only had a cassette player when I was 8 though, and I begged my mum for a CD player. She made me wait, said I was too young, possibly right, but when I turned 9, she surprised me. I unwrapped a box and found a MIDI hi-fi system, double cassette decks, turntable, AM, FM radio, a CD player. It was everything. She also bought me a couple of CDs, my first 2 CDs, The Miracle and The Works by Queen. I still think that was the best gift she ever gave me. I spent hours putting the CDs on repeat, learning the lyrics and mimicking Freddie's vibrato, even the way he held the mic. One night my friend John was over, sheets on the floor, CD spinning. I looked at him and said, "I'm a Queen fan, John." That moment felt massive, like I'd joined a club I never wanted to leave. Fast forward a few months, and at Sunday afternoon I'd been playing football with John. We loved beating teams 8-0, 9-0. We came home to a roast beef, a classic Sunday meal, then went upstairs in my bedroom to listen to Queen. John was staying over that night, as he often did. We would take turns at staying at each other's houses. My dad came into my bedroom in the morning looking very sad. He told me I needed to turn the TV on because there's something I must see.
And the time now has just turned to 7:15. A reminder you're watching the BBC's Breakfast News. This morning's headlines. And the rock star Freddie Mercury has died, a day after he confirmed that he was suffering from AIDS.
I didn't know what to think. I remember dropping the CD remote, hearing it hit the floor and crying. A 9-year-old crying for somebody he'd only known from music. I snuck to my room and sobbed. Not because I knew him personally, but because he'd given me something. Dignity, joy, power. And I felt that loss deep. I'll skip past my teenage years really fast, as nothing happened really. It was only birthdays, Christmas and all my pocket money, all spent on vinyl and CDs and VHS of concerts. I had everything. Wembley 86, Live at a Bowl, you name it. My teen years were shaped by the music. My school and my girlfriend Katie. Scrapped knees, it was always there. But I always wanted to see Queen live and I never could. Because in the back of my head, I knew that it was impossible because Freddie was dead. That really did burn a hole in my heart. I joined the army when I was 16 and Queen became the soundtrack. Through long days of drill. It was my anchor. I served until I was 24, and when I left, my parents surprised me with tickets to go and see We Will Rock You for the musical in London. I remember walking into a theatre and the lights dimming, the Queen anthem was blasting loud. I thought, this is as close as I'm going to get. And it was satisfying. Not perfect, but it filled something essential. Then came news that Queen were touring again with Paul Rodgers. But I felt angry. It wasn't Freddie. It felt like slapping the lipstick on a legend and sending it out. I didn't go, I didn't want to. My band, but Freddie was gone. Anything else felt off. And that anger simmered for years. Then I heard about another frontman. Some American called Adam Lambert. I rolled my eyes. Who? Why? This isn't them. I dismissed it. It felt like fans being placated. I swore I wouldn't go. I didn't want to feel betrayed again. Then came my 40th birthday. Katie, my girlfriend who I'd been with all these years, had bought us tickets to go and see Queen plus Adam Lambert. My first instinct was, no way, I'm not going. But I had to go because it's a birthday present. I walked in a skeptic and I walked out as if my life had changed forever. I could not believe how good it was.
Mama, just killed a man, put a gun against his head.